With all these injuries, we have got no chance against PSG. Or have we? Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge here on Super Sammy Plays. After making some huge new additions in the last couple of episodes, it's time to see what they're really made of as we face our toughest test yet, PSG in the Champions League. Or at least it would be if our injury crisis wasn't getting worse week by week. At this rate, we're going to struggle to even field a first 11. We've already had to tweak our formation because we simply do not have enough fit strikers to play two up top. So yeah, I'm not feeling too confident about this one, but let's get into it. So like I mentioned, we did have to tweak the formation. We've had to drop one of the strikers back into a cam role because we simply do not have enough to back up on the bench. So yeah, with a one striker formation, it does mean we do have an option off the bench, but still not ideal. And we're going to be playing St Mirren in the first game of the episode away in the league. And this one started off pretty poorly, as Charles, who you can see has picked up another injury, just to add to our growing list, pushes out straight to Kasrati and he puts St Mirren in front before Sato looks to have levelled for us. But unfortunately, after a VAR check, it's going to be disallowed. And yeah, it is going to be offside and fairly clearly offside in the end. We do eventually pull one back in the 55th minute though, as Mitchell Frame plays it through to Sato and his ball across to the back post finds Awa, who levels. But it's not for long. St Mirren go back in front with a great turn and finish by Castrati again to put St Mirren back 2-1 in front. We do get another leveller though, as Sato again crossing to the far post. Bailey with the first time layoff to Lazatic. He shoots home to make it 2-2, and that is how the scoreline finishes. So unfortunately we do drop points, but considering the amount of players that we currently have out, it's not the worst point in the world. And to add to our growing list, it's just a one-dayer for Jimenez, but a 4 to 6 week layoff for Piers Charles, who's torn his wrist ligaments. I think that's probably the third or fourth time now. His wrists are absolutely made of butter. Thankfully, though, we do have Vitek as the replacement goalkeeper, so we've still got a top-quality keeper coming in to replace him. And he's going to need to step up as we play Newcastle away in the Champions League. And we start off pretty poorly again as Joe Linton gets brought down by Kamara, threatening early on, and it is going to be a penalty which Visat doesn't take advantage of, as that man Vitek does step up and save and preserves our clean sheet, but not for long as Joe Linton finds Visat, and this time he makes no mistake, shooting past Vitek to give Newcastle a 1-0 lead inside the opening 21 minutes. And 9 minutes later, they add another as Lewis Miley with a great through ball to Joe Linton, and he shoots, putting Newcastle 2-0 up before half-time. And that is how we do go in at half-time, just the 2 shots for us compared to their 7, and yeah, I think our injuries were really showing in this one. But at half-time, we did make a tactical change and go to that other formation with just the one striker, dropping one of them back into the cam role because Leonardo wasn't having a great game, so Morgan Gibbs-White in that number 10 role gets us back into the game as he pulls one back in the 77th minute to make it 2-1. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't going to be enough, and a poor clearance from Ralston getting headed straight back to Bruno Guimaraes, and he runs straight through and scores to give Newcastle a comfortable 3-1 victory. And yeah, looking at the stats, we certainly just got outplayed completely in that one. And to make things even worse, we have now lost another player as Kamara has torn his knee ligaments and he's going to be out for up to 11 weeks. So that is a huge loss for us at left back as he's been pretty good for us since we've signed him in the summer. And yeah, another one on the injury list now. A more positive note though, we have got Jimenez who's making some real positive improvements. The mentoring group really helping him with his determination as well. And hopefully he can keep on improving as his value is rising rapidly. And after another poor performance from Leonardo, we had a little chat before the Livingston game and I told him that he needs to start scoring goals, else he's not going to stay in this team. And to be fair to him, he was quite understanding and accepted him and agreed that he certainly needed to step up. So we'll see how he gets on. So on to that Livingston game. We do manage to start with our standard 4-2-2 formation, as we actually have a couple of strikers for this one, with Wernblad and Leonardo starting up front. And we nearly go 1-0 up early on as Diaby shoots narrowly wide in the opening 6 minutes. Our corner is then cleared back to him and he keeps it in play. Pulls it across to Ralston and his long range effort going just over inside 21. And we go close again literally 6 minutes later as Keskinen goes down the left, cuts in on his right foot, shoots towards the near post, but unfortunately hits it straight at the goalkeeper. We do finally get the breakthrough though, just 2 minutes into the second half, as a free kick gets cleared to Auer on the edge of the box and he makes no mistake firing home, giving us a 1-goal lead. We look to add to it in the 59th where Sato pulls it across into the middle and Leonardo looks like he's listened to our advice, but unfortunately it is going to be given offside and ruled out. So, shame for Leonardo, but we do still get the victory and the 3 points. And next up, we go straight into a massive game as we go away to Celtic Park to see how we get on against them. And again, starting with the 2-striker formation with this one. And Gibbs-White goes close 37 minutes in, but saved. It was a pretty quiet first half with that our only chance. And Celtic getting a chance just before half-time with Nygren just going on a mazy run all the way through and shooting narrowly wide of the post. We go close again in the second half as Ours through ball over the top finds Wernblad and the clearance deflects to Morgan Gibbs-White and his shot just goes wide of the post. But we finally get a massive chance to break through as Gabby Carvalho gets brought down in the 64th minute, giving us a penalty. And Leonardo steps up, makes no mistake and shoots into the bottom left-hand corner, giving us a 1-goal lead. Celtic do try and get one back and they go close in the 85th minute, but he was miles offside. The flag was raised and the keeper saved it anyway. And we do go on to win the game 1-0 and get another 3 points. And along with the 3 points, we do get another injury as well, as Moussa Diaby is going to be out for 12 to 15 days. And Pujic is also in need of a rest, probably not expecting to play as much as he has been, but he's certainly done well for us. And another man that's doing well for us is Martin Wernblad, who's training very well, and you'll see from his attributes, he's certainly getting a lot better. And you can see the value already at 7.4 to 9.2 million is an improvement on what we paid for him. And yeah, this early game time is certainly help his development. But we get another huge blow as Morgan Gibbs-White has picked up an injury and he's going to be out for 3 to 5 weeks, which is certainly not ideal with the PSG game coming up. And our growing list of injuries just keeps getting worse. But next up, we play Dundee United at home, hoping to get another 3 points. And we start off inside the first minute. The ball falls into Sato at the far post and he makes no mistake, putting us 1-0 up before 5 minutes later, Gabby Carvalho down the right plays a great ball into Wernblad and he makes no mistake, putting us 2-0 up inside the opening 10 minutes. 6 minutes later though, Carvalho again finds Sanchez in the middle and he makes it 3-0 and we were absolutely flying in this one. As Gabby Carvalho with another assist, finding Sato for his second goal of the game, putting us 4-0 up at half-time. On to the second half, Gabby and Sato were absolutely cooking and Gabby actually gets a goal of his own this time with a great turn and finish before Dundee United actually managed to pull one back, and I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like a foul, but everyone just seemed to stop playing and Luca Barrington benefits as he gets one back for Dundee United before they pull another one back with a great finish from Randall, shooting over Vitek to make it 5-2. But we were in no danger of a collapse in this one as Sato shows a bit of great dribbling, going past his man and shooting into the far corner to get his hat-trick. Before Leon Bailey gets one on his left foot, the shot deflected, fall into Frank Pelage and he gets a goal to make it 7-2. Before we score another in the 81st with Ralston probably the pick of the goals. Goalkeeper obviously out of position, but a great finish to make it 8-2. And then we decided to let Dundee United pull another one back themselves with Randall's cross finished by Ronan Hale as we finish 8-3. And what a result that is considering the players that we are missing at the moment. And to add to our list of injuries, it wouldn't be another win without one. We get another hamstring strain for Martin Verblad, and he's going to be out for up to 3 weeks. So that is a shame, as that's another striker that we're losing. Gabby Carvalho on form, which is quite funny that he's getting the plaudits. He did get 3 assists and a goal, but obviously Sato getting the hat-trick, you would have expected him to be the one getting the media attention. And nice to see that we actually have got somebody coming back from injury, just not necessarily in the position we need it, as Charles has recovered from his, was it sprained or torn wrist ligaments? And now on to the big one. PSG with what is a ridiculous squad, and they've added to that by signing Federico Valverde and Thibaut Courtois. So that's 2 huge additions to an already ridiculous squad. Also some pretty good signings on the bench as well, but they started off pretty much as you'd expect, going 1-0 up. But thankfully for us, VAR intervened, ruling the goal out and putting us back level. As 4 minutes later, Frame goes down the left, finding a great ball in behind to Lazetic, and he shoots past the goalkeeper, giving us a very surprise 1-0 lead. We don't keep it for long though, as Dembele unreal. Unreal pace and dribbling to go past the fullback to level PSG up at half time, and probably a fairly even first half. Dembele goes looking for another one early on in the second half, shooting low down to the keeper's left, but Vitek with a good save, putting it wide of the post. And then in the 56th minute, Mitchell Frame finds Lazetic. He plays Sanchez in behind, cuts back on his right, and his pass is deflected straight to Lazetic, who makes no mistake again, putting us 2-1 up against PSG. We do get a scare in the 77th minute as PSG go looking for an equaliser with Zaire Emery, and he plays in Desiree Doué, who gets brought down by Renato Sanchez looking for a penalty, but thankfully it was outside the box, and we hold on to beat PSG at home 2-1, and what is an unbelievable victory, and certainly the biggest win of our season, and probably on the entire save so far. But as you've seen, every time we get a win, we seem to get an injury as well, and Leonardo is now going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks, so he certainly isn't going to be able to start scoring goals as he picks up another injury. So it looks like we're going to be going back to a 1-striker formation, but this man certainly will be able to lead that for us, as he absolutely cooked in that last game. Maybe not started off quite so well though, with just 2 goals in the league and 2 in the Champions League. He certainly needs to carry that form through to the next few games, because we're going to be relying on him heavily. And the first of those next few games is going to be away at Hearts. And we get a goal nice and early in this one, 17 minutes in, as Gabby Carvalho goes down the right, crosses it to the far post with Sato. He pulls it back to Renato Sanchez, and he buries it into the bottom right-hand corner to give us a 1-goal lead. You will see, though, Bavic, our youngster, has actually started this game. And unfortunately, he's picked up an injury. You can see that we actually already had an injury in this one, as Jimenez had gone off earlier on in the game. And bear in mind, we're still only in the first 20 minutes of the match. We get a second in the 61st minute, as Leon Bailey takes the corner into the middle. Lazetic heads it down, and Shishkarev gets onto the end of it to shoot into the back of the net and give us a 2-goal lead. But unfortunately, we let Hart back into it in the 76th as the cross comes in to Lawrence Shankland, and his header looping over the goalkeeper to give them a chance. And they certainly took that chance. As 7 minutes later, they go down the left with Lowry. He pulls it into the middle, and Shankland scores again to level up and make it 2-2. We do go close in the 87th to getting back in front to Sato down the left, dribbling past his man, pulls it into the middle, and unfortunately our shot is blocked and goes out for a corner, and that is how we finish, as we throw away a 2-goal lead and only come away with a point. And we also come away with another injury for Jimenez, as you saw, and he's going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks, so that's not a great one there, as it gets a moderate groin strain. And Alfie Bavic, the youngster, he's going to be out for 8 days to 2 weeks, so he's literally only playing because we had no other options. And yeah, that's a bit of a shame. But we do get Diaby back, so that is a slight positive after a bad week. And Diaby is going to be straight back into the starting lineup for this one, as we're at home to Kilmarnock. We go close early on. There's a lovely little bit of play between Frame and Sato. Sato plays it out to the right with Ralston. He goes past his man, crosses it to the far post. Sato back across, and Awa putting it into the back of the net and giving us a 1-goal lead. And a lovely little bit of play there from Sato. He is turning into a real gem signing for us. Another one that we signed on a free. And not someone I'd actually heard of before. So, great to see. And then in the 62nd, Diaby goes close, hitting the post. As Kilmarnock get away with one there as it hit the goalkeeper on the way out. And unfortunately for us, it came back to safety. 62nd minute though, Sato attacking down the left again. Turns back on his right, gives it to Mitchell Frame. He lays it off to Ralston. Plays it inside, and Gabby Carvalho's effort is saved low down to the keeper's left, putting it out for a corner. Before Killy, it looked like they've actually pulled one back. As the pass from Watson finds Anderson, who buries into the back of the net, but he was quite clearly offside, and you'll see from this replay that it wasn't particularly close. He is a good couple of yards offside, and we remain 1-0 in front. Before the 74th minute, corner coming back to Gabby Carvalho, he lays it off, and the deflected effort from Awa going past the goalkeeper to give us a 2-goal lead. Before Awa rounds off his hat-trick in the 90th minute, Gabby Carvalho with a great ball over the top, great first touch and a great finish. All round great from Husam Awa as we go on to win the game 3-0 thanks to that man. And with that win, we have now played 12 games in the league and we are currently 6 points in front of Falkirk in second. So we're absolutely cooking and we're running away with this league. As Awa is obviously getting the plaudits from that last game after scoring a hat-trick. And good to see. He's started off the season very well with 9 goals so far in all competitions and 5 assists. Pretty good going as he's probably played most of them as a centre mid. He is unfortunately wanted by Al Ettifaq, but they're going to have to pay his release clause if they want him. And ready for the next game, we have got 2 strikers returning in Vernblad and Cullen, so be good to go back to our 2-striker formation once they're both fit. So, the injuries and the tweaked formation certainly showed in a few games, but considering the situation, we've still been cooking. We're now 6 points clear in the league and we pulled off a huge upset in Europe, but with the teams we've got left to play, we can't afford to slow down now. Hopefully, with players coming back from injury and the squad getting stronger week by week, we can pull off a few more upsets and keep this Champions League run alive. But that's going to do it for today's episode. If you've enjoyed the video, do me a favour, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.